Hi, ladies. How are you? I'm good. I hope you guys are fine. I hope you guys are all right, work-wise, your family-wise, and your sweet selves. So I promised that today we're going to start our lesson number 1. Today, I don't even know how this is going to grow or how this is going to evolve. I have no clue, but let's just see how it evolves, let's just see how it goes as long as we are doing this. So thank you so much for allowing me the space, for giving me this opportunity to give my message. Okay, so what are we going to be talking about today, ladies? I need to feel relaxed. What are we talking about today? This is lesson number 1. I think last week I explained the purpose for this group. Just in little bits. Just in little bits. And then I said, you know what? I think this is all about well-being and mental health, and just learning to manage that stress, because we are not enjoying our lives, and that's what I feel sometimes, that we don't enjoy our life the way we are supposed to, because there's a lot going on in our heads. There's a lot going on in our reality. There's a lot of challenges. We meet a lot of people, and also there's a lot of love going on around us. There's a lot of giving going on around us, but sometimes we don't notice. We don't notice the love. We don't notice the gifts that we are receiving. We don't stop to receive. We don't acknowledge what life is giving us. We don't appreciate what life is giving us because of the storms, because of the challenges that we are going through. So I think the whole purpose of life for me is this is what I had to learn to discover, that if you stop and really observe and see what you have around, sometimes you will learn that you actually have everything that you need at a given moment. You actually have everything that you need, but because of the stresses in life, we focus on those stresses. We focus on the things that we don't have, and then we don't pay attention on the things that we do have. We take for granted the things that we do have. So most of our stresses and most of our troubles is because we are focusing on the lack. We are focusing on the things that we don't have, rather than focusing on the things that we do have. So I think the whole point of self-love, maybe, is, this is what I came to understand, is learning about your environment within and outside, and acknowledging what love looks like, how love is around you. That's self-love. Acknowledging the love that's surrounding you, and acknowledging the love that you have inside, that you're giving to other people, and focus on that. That's what self-love is. And then protecting yourself from negativity, knowing exactly what you want, choosing how you want your life to look like, being deliberate about the things that you do and the things that you let into your life. I think that's self-love for me. Just being aware, of your environment, being aware of the people around you, and acknowledging the good that's surrounding you. That's what I feel self-love is. Deciding that you are special, deciding that you are unique, and you want to experience life from that point of view, because we have trained our minds to listen to our challenges, to pay attention to the stresses. So I believe self-love is choosing to say, yes, I know I'm going through challenges. I know I'm going through storms, and I know I have things, a list of to do things. And I have responsibilities. I have bills to pay. I have people to look after. But at the same time, I need to appreciate what the universe is doing for me. I need to appreciate what God is doing for me as well. I know we are all prayerful ladies, so I will not be ashamed to speak about God. Because sometimes we don't talk about God enough. Yeah, but we need to realize the good things that God is giving us sometimes. So that's what self love is for me: protecting yourself from negativity and choosing to live in light, choosing to light up the paths for others as well. Okay, so that's my outlook there. That's my outlook. So what are we going to be talking about today, now that it's our very first day? So ladies, um this journey of self-love, how did it start for me? I'm just going to go briefly, but I'm not going to tell you the details of like what I went through exactly, but I'll just tell you that I went through a fair share of depression as well, or sadness. Let me not talk about depression, but sadness. But sometimes we like saying this word depression, but it's just being said. Things are not happy in they're not making you happy. The circumstances in your life, you're just feeling like, I'm stuck. Things just keep going round and round and round. It feels like I'm in the same space, nothing is moving, and you have these little troubles that you're having in your family, that you're having at work, that you're just having about life in general, too many bills to pay, things like that. So that's what happened to me, and I ended up telling myself in 2021, after like 3 years of feeling sad and not happy about my life in general, I had had enough. I told myself that I've come to a decision that I came to a decision that I didn't need to live my life like that anymore. I needed to smile as well. I needed to have light within me. Okay, so that's when I started this journey of self-discovery, or learning to love myself. Is because I had been in a position that I didn't like my life. There was a lot of self-hate, self-love. There was a lot of self-hate, thinking that I don't deserve this, thinking that I don't belong in this world, thinking that I'm not good enough to apply for that job, thinking that I cannot speak up, thinking that I could not put my boundaries or tell people or say no to people, just taking in everything and thinking that I didn't have a choice. So that's how I lived my life, thinking I don't have a choice. You just have to follow these things. You get married, you go to school, you get married, you have children, you have life, and you have to do this. And there were a lot of I should do this, I should do this, I should do this in my life, and that was too much sometimes. Even though I was 45 then, when I went through that period, or when I went through the period of self-discovery, 45 years. And sometimes you feel, for most part of your life, I wasn't happy. But I decided that the time was enough. I'd had enough. I decided that I needed to change. I needed a new life, a new lease of life. And then that's when I started this transformation journey in learning about self-love. Okay, so that's what we'll be talking about today. So what are we going to be talking about? So ladies, what I discovered is the way that we live our lives most of the time is through automation. Like, just imagine how you wake up in the morning, and you go to brush your teeth. You've got your morning routine that you do. You drive to work, you dress up, you drive to work, you go to work, you do, and then you come back, you cook. It's like, we've got a regiment that we follow about our lives. And however you've been doing things, you keep doing that every day, every month, every year, and you'll see after 5 years you're still doing the same thing. You still wear the same clothes, you speak the same, and all that. So what I discovered, ladies, is we actually can break that automation, things that we do automatically, because we have trained ourselves. We've been doing those things for so long that now they just become automatic. We don't think so much when we're doing those things. We just know I have to do these things because we've trained ourselves for a long time. So they come in as automatic. We don't have to pay to give a lot of thinking into it. So what I came to learn, ladies, when I started this journey is actually you can break this automation and be intentional, introduce intentionality, because our reality is as a result of a thought. So whatever we do, whatever action we do, even if it's waking up and brushing our teeth and going to bath, it starts as a thought. We are thinking, I have to go and bath, I have to brush my teeth, I have to wear this. But then because it's something that we do every day, we don't notice that. We don't notice the thought. We just start doing because we're used to it. So when I learned that everything starts as a thought, my reality starts as a thought, I decided that I was going to be intentional about my reality. I needed to break the automation. I needed so that I introduce, so that I do what I want, so that I introduce what I want. So I learned that if your thought comes and then you decide, no, I'm not going to brush my teeth now, I'm actually going to skip rope, you see, then I'll brush my teeth. Then instead of just making tea and bread like I do every day, I decided to introduce that maybe I'm going to eat fruit, or I'm going to eat, I'm going to eat coffee, or to drink coffee with what I started to introduce intentionality in what I was doing. I started to be mindful. So we call that mindfulness. When you bring yourself, your body, and your mind together so that you are present in what you're doing. Instead of just going to brush your teeth like normal and your mind is somewhere in your mind, I learned to bring my mind and my body in one, so that I'm focusing on exactly what I'm doing, so that I understand what I'm doing. I understand why I'm doing that. I understand why I'm going to work. I understand why I'm speaking like this. You understand? So it starts from a thought. So I had to understand that there are things called thoughts, and I can pay attention to that thought. The voice in my head, I didn't know that you can listen and control and command the voice in your head. So these are the things that we're going to be discussing here, ladies. The thoughts, the voice in our heads. You have to pay attention to how you feel about things, your emotions. I learned that you can pay attention to your emotions and listen to what your emotions are telling you, because the emotions are your guiding system. They tell you where you should turn, whether you should turn left or turn wrong, whether you should do something or stop doing something. I learned about our emotions. I learned about our judgments, how we judge things good or bad. You understand? Because all these things, that's what contributes to our stresses. When we judge something, when we react to things, when we speak things, when we say things, that's what contributes to our stresses. I learned about interpretations, that when we see things and observe the reality, we interpret, we put meanings to the things that we see, and the meanings that we attach to the things that we see, that's what gives us stress. I learned that. So you see, I'm giving you the components of what leads to our reality, the thoughts, how we feel, the voices that happen in our heads, our reactions, the words that we speak. That's what contributes to our reaction, to our world, to our reality. So if you're mindful of the things that are happening in your thoughts, how you feel, and your words and your reaction, then you can also determine how you want your reality to be. You can also determine how you want to react when a situation, when a circumstance presents itself. Isn't that smart? To know that you have a choice. That's what I learned. That's empowerment. So that's what we'll be talking about here. Learning that we have choices when it comes to our reality, when it comes to our experiences. We can choose how we want to think. We can choose how you want to feel. You can choose how you want to react. You understand? So you're bringing that intentionality. You need to know who you want to be first and what you want. And then you decide to think according to what you want, to feel according to what you want, and then to react and act in the way that you want exactly. Isn't that smart? That is very smart, I think, because that changed my life. Just knowledge of that changed my life, ladies. Yeah. So the other thing that we'll be going to talk about here is, in order for you to know that you are stressed from the beginning, for you to know, because this is learning about yourself, self-love. But sometimes you don't even know that you're self-hating, because the opposite of self-love is self-hate. So in order for you to know that you need self-love, you need to know that you're self-hate. But what is the self? Who is the self? In order to self-love, you need to know who the self is. In order for you to know that you're self-hating, you need to know the self that you're hating. Who is the self? That was a question that I was asked. Who are you, Aluta? Who are you? Give me your description without talking about you as a mom. Don't mention that you are a woman. Don't mention that you are a lawyer. Don't talk about your occupation. Don't tell me where you live. Don't tell me your family or how many you are or that you are a girl. But who are you? Who is Aluta? Who is this girl? Who is Aluta? Who is this girl that was born, who was once 5 years, who changed to 15, who changed to be a 25, who is 35, who is now 49? Who's that person that doesn't change? All these things, the years change, the experience do come and change, but there's that individual self that is within you that doesn't change. Who is that person who's experiencing all these things? That question was asked and I couldn't answer it. So those are some of the things that we're going to be doing here, learning to find that person. Who is that lady? Who is Jules? Who is Kathy? Who is Umpil? Who is Pepsi? And who is Verica? Who are they? The one who experiences the world, the one who is feeling, the one who is thinking, the one who is talking. Who is that at the core? You need to find out who that person is and what that person wants and what that person desires. And what are their wishes? Are they living this life in their authentic self? Or are they pretending? Or they've built another image that they are presenting to the world that is not true? Who are they? We need to ask those questions. Who is this girl at the core who is experiencing all these things? And what does this little girl want? When she's playing, how does she play? You see, and when she's in pain, when she's suffering, what happens? And we need to create a space where she plays. And we also need to create a place where she can run home to when things are not okay outside. So that's what we are going to be doing here. That's what we are going to be talking about here, ladies. Creating a safe space for yourself, loving yourself, and giving everything that you desire in this world to yourself first. Filling your cup first. Loving yourself first. Acknowledging yourself and appreciating yourself first. Accepting yourself first. Accepting who you are first. Remember, who you are, meaning that little girl that is 40-something now, that little girl that experiences this world. Who is that girl? We need to be taking care of that girl, because if that girl is not taken care of, how can she take care of everything else that she has? We need to choose her first. You need to learn to choose that little girl first before you can give yourself to other people. You need to know what you want first and give that to yourself. So that's what we'll be doing, ladies. So our homework today, I'm going to give it on WhatsApp. Thank you, ladies. Let me have any questions. This is what we have today, as an introduction again of what we will be doing and how we are going to be doing this together. Okay. Thank you so much, ladies, for allowing me the space and giving me this opportunity to love you. Bye-bye, and take care of yourselves. See you next week. Have a great week. Bye.